All right, thanks, guys. The Blue Jackets take on the Flyers. 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in South Philly. The Flyers are minus 155, total at 6. Saw a 10-cent move toward Philadelphia in the early wagering. The Flyers open a $1.45 up to 155, totals at 6. 62% of the consensus are leaning toward Philadelphia. 68% shaded toward the over. Right now, Columbus is plus 135 on the money line. Philly's plus 160, laying the goal and a half. We have Brian Elliott net for Philadelphia. Joonas Korpisalo for Columbus. Now, Korpisalo comes into this matchup with a 5-2 record, 272 goals against, and a .901 save percentage. Columbus is third in offensive shots on the road, seventh in shots allowed. They're led by Pierre-Luc Dubois, who has 4 goals on the year, 6 points total. They're also led by Seth Jones, who has 5 assists and 6 total points on the year as well. Columbus is 7-2-1 in their last 10, taking on Philadelphia. They're also 4-1 straight up in their last 5, taking on the Eastern Conference. Now, Philly on the other side, losers in 6 out of their last 8, taking on the Eastern Conference themselves. Now, total-wise, Philadelphia is 6-4 to the over in their last 10 head-to-head matchups with the Blue Jackets. Give me CBJ plus 1.5 and the over 6 goals in that game. Next matchup, Maple Leafs, Canadiens, 7 o'clock Montreal. The Canadiens are minus 140, total 6.5. Not a whole lot of movement on this total. We did see movement upward on the sides, however, a 20-cent move toward Montreal. They open $1.20 up to 140, total 6.5. 69% are leaning Toronto, 71% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Maple Leafs are plus 120 on the money line. Montreal plus 175 on the puck line. We have Carey Price for the Canadiens, Michael Hutchinson for the Maple Leafs. Now, Carey Price comes into this game winning just 4 out of his 8 starts. Montreal also is 20th in home scoring, 23rd in goals allowed. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me Toronto plus 120 and the over 6.5 in that game. Next matchup, Predators, Lightning, 7 o'clock Tampa Bay. The Lightning are minus 155, total at 6. We saw a 15-cent move toward Tampa Bay, movement downward on the total. The Lightning open $1.40 up to 155, total open 6.5 down to 6 flat. 70% are leaning Tampa Bay, 75% shaded toward the under. Right now, Nashville is plus 135 on the money line. The Lightning plus 165 on the puck line. We have Curtis McElhaney for Tampa Bay, Saros for Nashville. Now, Saros comes into this game with an 0-3 record, 475 goals against, and an .853 save percentage. Tampa Bay, on the other side, winners in 3 out of their last 4. They also rank first in offensive shots at home. They're led by Stamkos, who has 10 points, 4 goals, 6 assists. They're also led by Kucherov with 9 points, 3 goals, 6 assists there. Now, Nashville, on the other side, losers in 2 out of their 3 away from home this year. They also rank 29th in goals allowed when traveling. Now, total-wise, Nashville is 3-0 to the over on the road, 80% to the over overall for the year. Tampa Bay, 6-3 to the over themselves. Give me the Lightning, minus 155 in the over 6 goals in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and just welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Saturday's NHL action. But before we get into some more of that, just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/rockpage. We do daily premium plays on that website, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We also have plenty of memberships, different tiers and packages that you can subscribe to. You can also access my current record right on the homepage. Link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some more free lines of personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Blues taking on the Bruins. 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop at the Garden. Boston's minus 170, totals 5.5. Saw a 20-cent move toward Boston in the early wagering. The Bruins opened $1.50 up to 170, totals 5.5. 68% are leaning Bruins, 80% shaded toward the over. Right now, St. Louis is plus 145 on the money line. Boston plus $1.50, laying the goal and a half. We have Tuukka Rask for Boston, Jordan Binnington for the Blues. Now, if you like Tuukka Rask in this matchup here, he is 4-0-1 on the year, 178 goals against, 944 save percentage. Boston's fourth in goals allowed, 3-0-1 at the Garden. They're led by Pastrnak, who has 17 points on the year. That's 10 goals and 7 assists. They're also led by Brian Marchand, who's got 14 points on the year. That's 5 goals and 9 assists. And Bergeron, who's got 8 points on the year, including 6 assists in that category there. Now, St. Louis on the other side, 2-4 straight up in their last 6. 24th in offensive shots, 24th in goals allowed on the road. And when it comes to the number, Boston's 5-4 to the over for this season. Give me Boston minus $1.70 in the over, 5.5 in that game. Next matchup, Penguins, Stars. 8 o'clock, Dallas. The Stars are minus 130, totals 5.5. Saw a nickel fade of Dallas in the early wagering. The Stars open 135 down to 130, totals 5.5. 61% are leaning Pittsburgh, 67% shaded toward the over. Right now, Pittsburgh's plus $1.10 on the money line. Dallas plus 210, laying the goal and a half. We have Matt Murray for Pittsburgh, Ben Bishop for Dallas. Dallas is just 3-4 when Ben Bishop makes the start. Matt Murray on the other side, 5-3 on the year, 262 goals against, 909 save percentage. The Stars are just 4-7-1 overall for the year, dead last in scoring on average per game, 30th in shots. Now Pittsburgh on the other side, first in road scoring, 9th in shots allowed. They're led by Sidney Crosby, who's got 14 points on the year, 4 goals, 10 assists. They're also led by Gunsel, who's got 11 points on the year, 6 goals, 5 assists, and Chris Letang, who's got 10 points on the year, 4 goals, and 6 assists there. Now, total-wise, Pittsburgh 6-3 to the under in their last 9 head-to-head matchups with the Stars. Dallas is 5-0 to the under at home. Give me Pittsburgh plus $1.10 and the under 5.5 in that game. Next matchup, Kings, Wild, 8 o'clock, Minnesota. Minnesota's minus 135, totals at 5.5. We saw a 10-cent move toward Minnesota in the early wagering. The Wild open $1.25 up to 135, totals 5.5. 58% are leaning Minnesota, 72% shaded toward the over. Right now the Kings are plus $1.15 on the money line. Minnesota plus $1.90, laying the goal and a half. We have Alex Stalock for Minnesota, John Quick for the Kings. Now, Quickie's just 2-4 on the year with a 4.39 goals against and an 8.54 save percentage. Stalock on the other side for Minnesota comes into this game with a very low 2.22 goals against and a 9.16 save percentage. Minnesota's 6-1-3 in their last 10 taking on the Kings. They're also 2-1 straight up at home this year. The Kings on the other side, 29th in goals allowed, last in goals allowed on the road. When it comes to the total, Minnesota's 5-4-1 to the under for the year. Give me Minnesota minus 135 and the under 5.5 in that game. Next matchup, Ducks, Avalanche, 9 o'clock, Colorado. The Avalanche are 145, total 5.5. We saw a nickel fade of Colorado in the early wagering. The Avalanche opened $1.50 down to 145, totals 5.5. 70% leaning toward Colorado, 87% shaded toward the over. Right now the Ducks are plus $1.25 on the money line. Colorado plus 170, laying the goal and a half. We have Pavel Francouz for Colorado, Ryan Miller for the Ducks. Now, if you like Francouz in this matchup here, he is 2-0 on the year with a 195 goals against and a 951 save percentage. The Avalanche are 8-1-1 overall for the year, a perfect 4-0 at home, and second in scoring. Colorado is led by McKinnon with 14 points, 5 goals, 9 assists, and Rantanen with 12 points, 5 goals, 7 assists. Now the Ducks on the other side, losers in their last 3 straight. They're 29th in scoring, 25th in shots. And when it comes to the total, Anaheim 7-4 to the under on the year, 4-2 to the under on the road. Give me the Avalanche minus $1.45 and the under 5.5 in that game. And we're going to slide into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Flames, Jets, 10 o'clock, Winnipeg. The Flames are 125, totals at 6. We saw a 10-cent move toward Calgary, a movement downward on the total. The Flames open $1.15 up to 125. Total open 6.5 down to 6. 61% are leaning Winnipeg, 54% shaded toward the over. Right now the Jets are plus 105 on the money line. Calgary plus a $1.95 on the puck line. We have David Riddick for Calgary, Connor Hellbuck for the Jets. Hellbuck comes into this game with a 2.38 goals against and a 9.29 save percentage. Calgary on the other side, 27th in road scoring, 19 in offensive shots, losers in 4 out of their 6 away from home. Now Winnipeg on the other side are led by Scheifele, who's got 12 points, 4 goals, 8 assists. They're also led by Lane, who's got 12 points, 3 goals, 9 assists. And when it comes to the total, Winnipeg 7-3 to the under in their last 10 taking on Calgary. I'm going to lean Winnipeg plus 105 in the under 6 goals in that game. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. We do daily premium plays on that website, beginning at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. And you can actually access my current record for free right on the homepage. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. Link for that site is in the description section below. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.